What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the,
what day is it?
Today is the 12th.
Saturday.
It's the Sabbath.
It's a Sabbath.
Indeed. Well, we talk about that on my channel. Some people know that because they follow my channel, so it's a weird thing. At any rate, I told you guys I was heading to somebody's abode. A couple of people already guessed. I am with Dana Ashley. If you don't know Dana Ashley, you should probably follow her channel. Most of you probably already do, but she has been doing some phenomenal videos that have been getting a lot of views. A lot of people have been taking notice, and I've been here for a little bit, and I've talked to Dana back and forth a few times, and she's really got a handle on some things that are above my pay grade. I'm not going to lie about it. One of the things I was asking her about, and this isn't, no one's going to critique you, because we already talked about this beforehand. In your opinion, what is the best method for someone to find the full armor of God? Do you know what I'm saying? And just tell them as best as you can.
Well, what I love about your channel, there are many things I love about your channel, but one thing that really drew me to you a lot is that you keep coming back to, I'm on my knees, and that humility is something that is missing everywhere, pretty much. And when you look at what it says about the end days in the New Testament, in Timothy, I think I remember there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud. All these things that are basically taught to us to be that way.
It's society.
And it's something to look up to. I mean, pride, I'm a new believer, for those of you who don't know, and just got into the Bible in the last couple of years. A lot of things happened to take me into it. But you
weren't a Satan worshiper before.
No, I was into the New Age. I was all about just love each other and be kind, and then this is all going to turn around. But you look around the world, and it's so not turning around. It's getting so much worse, and the division is so exacerbated now. But anyway, dreams and visions were part of what brought me there. But when we actually started reading the Bible, that I used to criticize a lot,
right,
it said, you look at the Ten Commandments, and it talks about pride being a sin. And I'm like, pride? My daughter was like, what's wrong with that? It's just such a common thing. And it's the opposite of humility. And when you talk about fasting, the attitude that's supposed to go with that to make it really effective is the same thing with when you talk about getting on your knees. It's the complete humility before God to say, you know what? This is food. This is one of the top 2 drives in human nature. And you're willing to put it aside and say, you know what? Man cannot be fed by bread alone. We got to listen to Him. So it's really
So you're basically saying the same thing I've come up with, is if you don't understand the 6 parts of the full armor of God, hit your knees and to God, through Jesus, ask for it. Beg for it if you have to.
That's really
You're one of the few people that I've seen that I literally have knee pads.
He has knee pads. He walks around with knee pads.
Most people don't notice them, but they're there because when you're driving through the dark and you pull over and you forget to pray and you get out of the tent, you climb down, you kneel down, automatically, almost every time,
rocks.
You kneel on rocks, broken glass, or whatever. So I keep knee pads in my pants. It is what it is. I'm not some fashionista, so I don't really care anymore.
How great is that?
It's true.
Truly.
It's true.
Truly. That is the attitude that is hard to find in this world. It's hard to find, of course, on the media or anything like that. And even in the Christian church, I tried to get into some churches here, and I went to the Bible studies, and these little old ladies are so adorable, but they pop in a DVD in this highly marketed, glossy book, and this woman's like, you deserve a miracle, and it's all about you and how great we are, and we are God's children, but it ain't about us, and I believe that's sort of what tribulation is actually designed for. And that's another thing that you call out totally right on, is that we're gonna fall hard, and this ain't about fear, but preparation.
That's the main thing, honestly, is I hear it so often, and it does piss me off, because that's my nature. I get pissed off when it's too windy out, to be perfectly honest. It's a fact. But people, this is all fear porn. Every single thing I tell people, except for a few rare things where I'm simply saying, based on everything I'm showing you, this is what I think. These people aren't. These people aren't hiding it anymore. It's coming out absolutely everywhere. It's amazing. I've been on the road for 2 weeks from Boston to California, and every single place where you should be able to set up a camera and view the night sky, and you can't, because it's absolutely loaded with chemical trails, geoengineering, solar remediation, whatever you want to call it. And they're telling us they're actually going to start doing it. So I can't even imagine this. And we're breathing this stuff in. I'd have to say, from all the people that I've met thus far, Dana is not messing around. She isn't wearing a tinfoil hat as of yet. And it's really, we were joking about this earlier. It's funny that all of us are considered tinfoil hat wearers. And it seems like when it comes down to it, we might all actually be wearing those. Dana, make sure that when you're in the house, your cell phone is on airplane mode. Dana has actual wire mesh on the side of her house, and I asked why. I wasn't all that surprised because I've seen it before, but she took out her EMF meter. Her house was relatively cool when she pointed at her neighbor's house, which is a Airbnb.
They have the smart house with the little wire nest cameras everywhere, and it's just...
Can I grab that?
Sure, please.
Go ahead, finish.
This meter basically picks up on radio frequencies, which is frequencies on the microwave spectrum. Sadly, these products that run on these things are everywhere now, including kids' toys, and they've been shown to cause the blood-brain barrier to leak, sterility in people. Children are having anxiety and ADHD because of this, and it's because the very thing you talk about with the geoengineering in the body is reacting with the microwave. What happens when you put aluminum in the microwave, right?
Right. No doubt.
It's all by design, and we gotta just understand this isn't our kingdom. This is the realm of a dark side, and the sooner we rip that Band-Aid off that says, oh, it's just going to turn around with some this or that leader, we're in no better when we do that.
You know what the sad thing is, and if this pisses you off, my subscribers, I don't know what to tell you, but I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I know Dana knows what I'm probably going to say, and she's not digging it. So many people think that right before everything gets incredibly bad, that God's going to reach down and grab us and take us all away.
It's just the same thing of people going to the doctor and say, doctor, just give me a pill and take it away from me. That's bad doctrine. It's not what Jesus said. Matthew 24 goes into very clear detail about what has to happen before he returns. And it's basically everything that is in the first 6 seals of Revelation. So earthquakes in various places, I wrote down a few of these things, but it's basically nation will rise against nation. Well, guess what? When you look in the Greek word nation, it's actually nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Nation against nation in Greek actually means race. So the race wars that we're seeing right now were totally told to us by Jesus in Matthew 24 that this will happen before he comes.
The race wars aren't, in my opinion, it's killing me that I'm looking at, I can see us, and it looks like we're on a talk show, like, hi, I'm Doug Hagman, and this is Snoop Dogg. This is just where the best lighting is. It's really late. I'm leaving first thing in the morning, and I wanted to get this done, and I was in a bitchy mood earlier, but we decided to do this real quick. It seems like after 9/11, and if I'm wrong, say it. After 9/11, the president that came in after George Walker Bush, they brought in Obama, the guy that was, he was just so amazing. He was so progressive and great. I've never seen somebody ever try to start an actual race war so hard, because the race wars, according to the media, are raging, and yet I'm driving around meeting all sorts of people. Everybody's cool with everybody. Nobody wants to mess with anybody else, and no one wants to be messed with. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable, but it's happening.
A part of it. It's a part of it, and it has to happen before he returns. And so a lot of Christians have this belief that they're not going to see tribulation. They're just going to get whisked out magically, and that is there to deceive you, and not you necessarily. Probably a lot of your subscribers are prepared to stand in the face of tribulation, but a lot aren't, and the beast will definitely use that to his advantage. And that's actually what got me so interested about fasting, because people aren't used to missing a meal, you know.
Well, that was the main reason. On my way up here, I made a video, and I intentionally didn't say your name just for whatever reason, you know, because the trolls will take advantage of anything. But I had been wanting to fast, and it's amazing how you've seen me. I don't eat very much. It's amazing, right? I tell people that all the time. I just don't eat a lot. It is what it is. But fasting always worried me. And then I watched the video that you did on it, and I watched a couple of other videos, and they all basically agreed with what you were saying. How long do you have to fast for 40 days? Do you have to go without food, water, and everything?
No, of course not. And I would suggest that people work their way into a fast. Some people call the Daniel fast a fast. That's not it. It's abstaining from food. And what's amazing about fasting is that actually our bodies are designed to fast. So a lot of people just think, I'm going to die without a meal, and that's part of the programming you've been getting. That is absolutely not true. So some of the great things that happen when you stop eating, well, think about it. When an animal gets sick, they stop eating, and your kid gets sick, it drives you crazy because you think that, no, it's the best thing, because when the digestion shuts off, that energy, which takes 50% of the calories that you consume, are burned and running the system. All right, like your 10 miles an hour gas tank, right?
I gotta say this. How ironic, it just dawned on me just now. How ironic is it? I basically said that I was going to do a video on fasting. I finally make it here. It took me quite a while to get here. It was amazing how I drove through mile after mile of, I can't see, but I'll just keep driving. I could not see. I drove through a snowstorm. I drove through fog and videotaped it. I showed it to her. Unbelievable to get here. And I show up, and my stomach was incredibly sick for almost 2 days.
That's a fast for you.
That's great. Well, it sucked. I ate a bad egg and cheese
road food,
burrito. Well, it cost a lot, so I thought it was a good one.
But when your body isn't eating, it takes that energy that was running the system, and then it puts it to better use. And so it's going to break down the things in your body that don't serve it, like dead blood cells, anything that starts a tumor, things like that. But beyond that, the human growth hormone, which is a really good thing. We had it peaked at 18, and it goes down from there. Doctors are admitting that people on chemotherapy do better when they are fasting at the same time. So it's no secret. It's absolutely not only possible, but very, very good for you. But besides that, when we don't have a meal, when they do pull the plug on the dollar, we need to be in the mindset that I'm not going to die. I got this. Lord has me.
Bum rush the grocery store, and it's already going to be empty.
Yeah, and you just have to calm down and take a deep breath and know that I'm in a fine space. I'm in the hand of God. I've got this. I'm not going to freak out.
And you have a really good video on fasting, so I just
a lot more detail than we're going to here.
Right.
Yeah. And the kind of breakthroughs with spiritual connection to God, which is really what it should be about, is I was in the New Age, actually, when I started fasting, but I noticed that I just had this clarity and peace that was so not anything I ever felt when I was just eating food. So to your question about can I do it for a long time or what have you, I mean, as a general, because I did coach people through fasting at one point, I would recommend start with a juice fast, and not fruit, not just fruit, but, green juices and that kind of thing. There's a movie called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, which is really motivating video that I was watching.
That's the guy that yells?
He's the guy he's an Australian dude. He used to be in the stock market. He's kind of funny. It's actually quite good. But, so watch that for motivation. But then you can break into, water fasting later. You just want to be on
The cat's coming up here. She's been making her way.
But then, don't try to dry fast. Maybe one day is fine.
So if I want to fast for 3 days, 3 days with no food, no water, and pray the whole time, and according to the Bible, according to Jesus' own words, this is going to open you up to be able to receive the Holy Spirit.
In a state of humility. You're not giving God an ultimatum, but
Have you ever seen the amount of videos people talking shit about me that I don't respond to? I'm good with humility. It is what it is.
Yeah, and I see that, and I see that in your heart, and it's true. And the knee pads, you got there to prove it. So.
I told you. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And for all those people that donated for that couple in Death Valley, it's amazing. I sent them 1,000, I sent them 500, and then I just put another video up on my other YouTube channel, 𝗕𝗶𝗃𝗿𝗍𝗓, because I'm trying to get some of the bigger companies to help these people out, maybe get them some housing. Their PayPal is right there, as well as their street address, and that's pretty much it. Danny, do you have anything else that you want to say while we're doing this?
No, I just, it's good to meet all the RFB fans out there, and yeah, we'll get another video out. I'm working on a video on, you talked about the armor.
No. It's all good, it's all good. It's all
had to make an appearance.
It's all good.
But no, the armor of God and some spiritual warfare stuff that I think we all need to be focused on later on. And a fire video, that's my next stuff.
Yeah, she's got a sick video. She's got some footage. You do it. I don't know. All I can do.
All right, just a quick motivation for you guys. Do not carry. You should never have your cell phone in your pocket.
Stand by. All
right.
And out.
All right. See your name.
So this is on airplane mode right now.
All right. This is a quick video to demonstrate what kind of radiation that one is getting whenever they have their cell phone on in their pocket, which is not what you want. This is a meter that measures cell phone radiation. The way this one is set up is the green lights. I've got this house so cleaned up you actually aren't seeing anything on here right now. But I just want to show you what happens when you have a cell phone on right now. Richie has this thing. It's an airplane mode, so we're going to turn airplane mode off, and you can see that the peak readings are very high into the dangerous.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this is off the charts. When you look at the research, basically biological impacts start around 0.10 volts per meter. Research, basically biological impacts start around 0.10 volts per meter and milliwatt. It's called kilowatts per meter squared. So yeah, this is happening all the time, and this is not what you want. Wi-Fi is even worse.
And you said that and I've heard others say it. I'm not. The cordless phones in the house, not even cellular phones. Cordless phones are way worse, right? It's like a jackhammer.
They act like a cell phone tower. You can actually hear what it sounds like. I'm going to just cruise the internet so people can see.
Stand by. This is Gigi, and she apparently is dying to be on film.
Gigi.
Is the nicest cat. She's kind and generous, I was told. Look at that.
Gigi.
Oh, what a nice cat. Oh, you tried to...
No, that was for treats.
Oh, all right.
She shakes for
All right, at any rate.
So we're going to get on here. So this is whenever you are cruising the internet. As you can see, the more that you're like...
Are you shitting me?
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, you have Bluetooth on here. That's what Bluetooth sounds like.
What?
Yeah, that's what Bluetooth sounds like. It doesn't sound good. So yeah.
That's
guys,
insane.
You gotta put your phones on an airplane mode in your pocket.
Let me tell you, for the last 24 hours, I've managed to put my phone on airplane mode.
He's done it.
And it's not the worst thing.
No.
It's not the worst thing.
You just pop it off and look and see things come in.
And I've talked about being targeted. Nicholson, 1968, Aaron Elizabeth, a lot of people. And it's funny because when you're getting jolted in the middle of the night, it's funny how it feels just like that sounds.
Well, here's what you really need to realize is that just like x-rays, why they put a lead vest on you when you're getting your teeth done, is because it's accumulative.
Right.
Cumulative. So this too is accumulative.
And it says right in the instructions. It says they do testing with rats, and this thing isn't even touching the rat. People put these right up to their head every single solitary day.
I know. And
you know what I'm saying?
Tumors, and it's causing reproduction problems. Let me turn on my Wi-Fi for just a moment so you can hear that sound.
All right.
I just now turned on the Wi-Fi router. Now, as you can listen, I'm going to turn this up. You hear that? It's sort of like a machine gun. They know that pulsed RF actually is what breaks the DNA. And 2.4 gigahertz is how they induce whenever you...
Diabetes in rats. I just said that in a video the other day.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, that doctor came out in front of the...
Oh, my.
Yeah. So these things are designed as a weapon, you guys, and you really have to... All you got to do is hardwire. It's not a big deal. It's not a big
I'll
deal.
tell you what. Having the wire plugged into the side of my laptop, it's actually faster because, of course, it's going to be faster. And then
It's more secure.
Dana showed me a way to plug the cell phone in so that it wasn't emitting anything and it was straight up. And I mean, I don't know how to get... The way I live, the way I'm always on the road, if I don't have my cell phone, I kind of like...
need it sometimes.
I know, but the thing is, I stream. That's when I'm watching videos. That's when I'm I'm not watching Dukes of Hazzard.
But you know what you can do is on YouTube Red.
At any rate, Richie from Boston,
Right.
Dana Ashley from an undisclosed location at the top of a mountain like a princess, like it was the worst road ever.
And it snowed on you.
And it snowed on me. At any rate, I'm going to leave links to Dana's channel in the description. Most of you have probably already subscribed. She puts out really, really in-depth material. And that's that. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Richie from Boston, and we are out.